front door and let's get this bad boy rolling.
This is one of them hits now. Heard back from Earth, we just shot a few of my ships down. It's safe to say I'm totally pissed. Wow, my cloaking devices just malfunction. Guess it's time for a sit down. This is the problem I got with humans, mostly the common man. Constantly fucking with energy they don't understand. Always thinking they got the upper hand. The G-forces from my maneuvers can snap your spine like a rubber band. I shouldn't waste my time, they ain't half as nice. Put a Red Bull in your coffin so your ghost can have wings in the afterlife. Let's rock and roll like a belly dancer's rhinestone. It was my idea to shake the pineal gland like a pine cone. My thoughts create hurricanes, tornadoes, and cyclones. A punch for me is like an avalanche of granite and limestone. You live here, now this is my home. I neuralize both your retinas, you wake up staring at the screen of your iPhone. Confused by the light plus the high tone. And now we connected from the microchip I placed next to your thigh bone. It's hard to understand cause your mind blown, but I gotta cut communication. Your government just scrambled they spy drones.
That voice is speaking Sumerian, the oldest language in human history.
I can't explain it.
Hey, what's going on? It's your boy, Big Mike Raider. Before we get started, Elite, you might have to press the sound because I got an echo in my ear. So before we get started, you gotta. I don't know if you got it playing on your side. You know what? That's actually me. My bad.
Yeah, I don't know if okay. All right.
My bad. Hold on. Technical difficulty, yo. Yeah. All right. There we go. Yeah, that was throwing me off. Let me restart it, man. It's your boy, Big Mike Raider, and it's Wednesday, and you know what time it is. We're going to have some heat with Elite. Elite, how you doing?
I'm doing my best. What's going on, Big Mike Raider Nation? Let's get it.
Let's get it. We got some things to talk about. We got plenty to talk about. We'll jump into it. But before we get into it, we got 21 in the chat. Let me acknowledge some of the folks that's in the building. We got Louis Garcia. He was here at 5:39, almost 30 minutes before the show. Says, what up, Big Mike? Here to show love to you and Elite. Minshew Mania is officially dead. It's all love for you, brother. For our brother Tay, if he wants to stay. Salute. And if you guys see the poll, I got a poll up there on YouTube. It's a question. Hey, would you forgive Davante if he wants to stay? We'll jump into it. We'll get into it. But the poll's right there. Everybody just answer accordingly. But salute to you, Louis. Let's see. We got Anthony in the building. We got Artie Official in the building. Been bad. You already know, man, what's going on this fine Wednesday. MG's Raiders in the building. We got Dominique 5. We got, let's see who else we got in here. Hold on. Let me scroll down. DeMarcus Webb says this team feels like it's on some high school-ish. It's definitely Elite, what do you think? Is it soap opera-ish? What you thinking?
It is, but trust and believe it's happening on damn near every team. It is. This is not exclusive to the Raiders. It really isn't.
Yeah,
that's all I'm gonna say about that.
I agree. Shout out to Earl Hall. Salute to you, man. Dodgers, Raiders, everything. Just stopping by for a quick second. Big Mike Raider. Hit that like button, y'all. Now got to stress and watch my Dodgers right now. Yeah, let's hope for the Dodgers. Must-win game against the Padres today, Game 4. They got to knock it out today, or else they get eliminated once again in October like they always do. But, guys, the 34 that's in the building, I need for you guys to like the thumb, hit the sub, and share with your folks. We got John B. in the building. We got E. Lee in the building, Paul Edgerton from across the pond. We got everybody in the building right now. Let's get cooking. We got some things to talk about. First things first. Aiden O'Connell season is back. He's back. He should have been our starter. That's my opinion on that one. He should have been the starter from the jump. But I did say this on Monday. From what I've seen from Aiden O'Connell, a little bit of the preseason, a little bit, in garbage time in 2 games, he didn't look great. I know that you're a staunch supporter of Aiden O'Connell. I said on Monday that I don't think it's going to really make much of a difference.
Okay.
Between the two, just because I think it's a lateral move. They bring their different strengths, but also different weaknesses, and it kind of all evens out, right? So what do you think about that one? I want to hear what you think about Aiden O'Connell and him being named the starter. Do we got a chance? Does this make our offense better? Lay it all out. I need to hear what you got to say about it.
Look, it 100% makes a difference because he has a different skill set. His strengths are what's most important to me as a quarterback. His pre-snap read is better. He knows what he lacks, and he lacks mobility, so he has to make a quicker read. Timing plays, he's a lot better because he can get the ball out. He has more zip on his passes, and he has passes that high-level quarterbacks have to make in the NFL. Aiden can make them. Okay, that's the difference. He throws the receiver open. There's a big difference for somebody who throws it to an open receiver and someone who throws it a receiver open. And he can do that. That comes by way of anticipation. He's a better anticipation thrower.
Right.
Okay. And my biggest thing is the O-line. If Getty is smart, I hope he's listening because he has to change up the pass blocking scheme. Meaning the person who's going to be key this week is actually Harrison Bryant. The second tight end number 2. And the reason why I say that is because he's going to have to help with the tackles.
Yeah.
He has to help.
Yeah. And you know what? Harrison Bryant has definitely been, a definite bright spot to this offense. PFF grades him like 17th highest tight end out of, I think it's like 40 or something tight ends. I think it's like 50 tight ends. So he's doing his thing. Number 1 ranked is Brock Bowers, but that's beside the point. Like, going back to the protection, you're right. You're definitely going to give him the Tom Brady protection treatment.
You have to.
Give him a short 3-step drop and hit him with the yards after the catch. And who's no better than Trey Tucker in this situation? We'll get into strategy and all that stuff. Okay. But I think under your strategy, what you're saying, I think it can work. You're strategizing for the quarterback that you do have, knowing that he's not the most mobile guy, out there, but he is very polished. He's super polished, right? Quarterback by the truest definition of quarterback.
More accurate. More accurate. He gets on the receiver faster.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, it's definitely it's going to look different. It's going to look different. And I'm hoping that Aiden O'Connell comes out there and kind of continues what he, kind of his momentum from late last season where he looked good against the Broncos, that final game of the season, and he threw 4 touchdowns against the Chargers. I'm hoping that he adds, he's adding a little bit of momentum to that. Right. One thing I do like about Aiden O'Connell is that he's definitely a pro guy. Like, he was named the backup guy, and you didn't hear any lip. He didn't, it was all straight, you couldn't tell what was on his mind. No. And I do respect that. That's what we need in a quarterback. And I'm looking forward to seeing him. Hopefully I'm wrong about it being a lateral move.
It is. It is in the sense that neither one of them are the man.
Right.
In that regard, it is lateral. But his skill set is better suited for better quarterback play, in my opinion, regardless of his lead feet or whatever the case may be.
Right. Yeah, and I agree with you. With you. And I thought he should have been the starter from the jump. But shout out to $2 Haymaker from DeMokes, AOC MVP incoming. Yeah, he's been saying this all season, off season. He's a big AOC supporter, man, and we supporting him now as he's our starter. Let me see what the chat has to say right here. Shout out to you, DeMokes. We got Mr. Gio. O-line needs to give AOC time, and he can cook. I think he will. Like Elite said, strategically have protection, maybe add another tight end. They were in a lot of 13 personnel last game. We saw them add a third tight end. Shout out to Shanker, our UDFA from 2023, actually, our 2023 UDFA. He came in, got some time, and it was good to see that. It was good to see that they went 13 personnel with max protection. And, at the beginning, it looked like it was good to go, but whatever happened, we'll leave it at that. But I don't want to go back into the past in this situation.
The air came out.
The air came out. Absolutely. And that's why we got AOC starting right now. Shout out to Ben Bad. It says we need to start off quick pass. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, quick pass.
We have to keep that momentum. DeMarcus Webb, Myers, Bowers, and Tucker will benefit immensely with AOC quarterback 1, especially Tucker. That's his dude. You know what I mean? Like, that's the guy that he's been wanting to, he was targeting all last year, definitely in vertical game, like and Jacoby Myers. They were connecting a lot.
He had great chemistry with Trey. Great chemistry with Trey.
Yeah, Trey and Jacoby. I think Jacoby, he can put up. I was expecting him to kind of have around 800 yards, double-digit touchdowns this year, just because of that chemistry he has with AOC. And we might get that.
We went with the wrong guy.
We went with the wrong guy. And that's how I felt from the beginning. But I did say that Gardner Minshew was going to lose his job in week 4.
Damn.
Did say that,
Did you call it?
I said week 4, but it ended up being 5. But it was pretty damn close. Let me see who else is in here. We got Raider Clan. He says Bowers is a monster in the blocking game. Yeah, he's a monster in general. I mean, we got us a superstar. Let me see. Shout out to Artificial. It's going to come down to the O-line on whether AOC does well. Yeah, absolutely. Need to chip Jay. We'll get into that, man. Need to chip JJ Watt every play. We'll get into it. You're a little ahead, man, but yeah, absolutely. Raider Clan, sorry. Raider Way, where's that channel at? So I put the link at the top right there of the chat, guys. Go click on the link and you can find it right there. And you can also find it on X. Go ahead and plug whatever you need. I don't need to speak for you. You got the voice.
No doubt. Hey, I changed up my name. I changed up my name on Twitter. Is my government name Tyson Hunter, but it is Elite with the Heat. And the Raider channel is the Raider Way, THEE. Me and Big Mike was talking backstage, and I'm probably gonna switch that name up because there is another channel that has that, and I don't want any confusion. So just bear with me. I'm going to be doing my first live show this Saturday night on my channel. So y'all pull up, come through, and we chop it up, and I get us ready for Sunday. So those are my units. Let's go.
That's what's up. But if you guys, to avoid all confusion, go ahead to the top of the chat. The link is right there. Go ahead and click on the link, and we'll get it rolling. Shout out to Dan Tessier in the building. Aiden was 8th string when he went to Purdue. He knows adversity. Yeah, he's happy to be here. I mean, he's keeping things in perspective. I don't know if you saw the podcast with Max Crosby this offseason.
I did.
He was saying that, the fact that he's even in the running for a starting spot on the Raiders is amazing to him. He's happy to be here.
Absolutely.
He's
overcome so much.
Right.
And he was fired up. He was mentally in it, even though he didn't get the starting job. I was seeing him on the sideline fired up. Tay making catches. I said, see,
yeah,
I can rock with that guy.
That's a team guy right there.
All day.
Yep. Shout out to Mondo Reyes. What's with it, Big Mike Raider, Elite Nation? Salute to you, man. Thanks for popping in. Let me see. I'm going to scroll down a little bit. Let me see who we got. We got Gorel Webster in the building. What's up, Big Mike? Gardner's nasty, sitting on the sideline eating. Yeah. Hopefully that's his last pick this season. We'll just leave it at that. Shout out to Ben Bad. He says, need to quit plays where you have 3 wide receivers in the same area. Yeah, that never seems to work. Particularly in that interception that really turned the game around. First off, if you're going to run that play, I said this last time, but I'm going to say it again. If you're going to run that play, do it on the right side of the field because you have a right-handed quarterback. For a right-handed quarterback to roll out to the left, he has to turn his body, set his feet, and then throw the ball. When he has pressure in that situation, you got 2 choices. You could throw the ball as you're running, but you're off balance. So you're going to probably throw a helium ball, which he did. It turned into a pick. Or you're going to, set your feet and take a shot or, throw to the receiver's feet and you live to see another day.
Right.
That's the options you got. He chose the first option, which wasn't the right option. So, but that's what it is. Wide receivers kind of being bunched together. We're not at that stage yet. Let's start at basics. Let's be in the 12, 13 personnel, max protection, and roll from there. But we'll get into strategy, all that stuff real quick. But let me acknowledge some more to chat, and then we got our next thing we're going to talk about. Ben Bad, he says, that interception play was great. Bowers was wide open, but should have gone to Minshew. and made it easier. Yeah, definitely. He said Gray Bowers was wide open, but should have gone to Minshew. Oh, yeah, for sure. Let me see. Shout out to Rockefeller Gibson. Said he was going to be here.
Oh, boy.
He said he was going to be here, man. Shout out to you. Thanks for popping in. Thanks for the support, man. Hopefully this isn't your last time coming over here. And we got 71 in the chat. Make sure you guys like the thumb, hit the sub, and share with your folks. This is, guys, the Big Elite Podcast on Wednesdays. We're going to be doing this every Wednesday. You know, we listen to the folks. We listen to everybody talking. This is going to happen once a week on Wednesdays. The Big Elite Podcast. Get used to it, man. Shout out to Raider Clan. We have to be 100% honest. AOC is still a rookie. Rookie-ish, right?
Yeah.
Sure, he's in year 2, but he had no consistency in coaching staff. And when we should have kept the ball rolling, we sat him. Yeah. I mean, you take all the air out of momentum. You know, hopefully his confidence isn't shot at this point, and he can go out there from, snap number 1 and start. But I don't think so.
He's ready to go.
I think he's ready to go.
He stays ready. Like you said, somebody who's always been doubted, someone who's always not been the first selection. So when you have that mentality, you stay ready. You're ready to go because you know your opportunities are few and in between. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you stay ready. I'm not worried about him from that regard.
Yeah, absolutely. Sure. I agree with you. So let's get into the next thing, right? Coach Pierce, he spoke on his Wednesday presser today, as he always does. He had some things that I want to talk about before, and then I'll show a clip. Of course, he said something about Davante Adams. You guys already know what it is. Go ahead and respond to that poll that I put in. Respond to it, and I want to hear what you guys have to say about it. But there's a couple of things that I want to mention about what he said in the presser that really, it was a lot of positivity. It seemed like, they're still fighting. You know what I mean? It was no negativity. It only seems like it's the fan base that's the negative ones here. Antonio Pierce was talking about accountability, and particularly when he was, those 2 penalties he took from the coaches, those 12 men on the field.
Yeah.
He owned up to it. And that made me happy to hear that, hey, that one was on us, but there were some pre-snap penalties that were like, yeah, we need to fix this. We need to clean this up. But he also took accountability as coaches. Like, this is also us, messing up, and we need to clean that up. And that's what I like to hear from Antonio Pierce. What do you think about him kind of taking accountability and kind of maturing into this role right now?
Right. It ain't no fraud in AP.
Yeah.
Let me say that again. There is no fraud in AP.
Mm-hmm.
This man has played this game at the highest level. He understands accountability to the umpteenth degree. So he is learning on the job. All right? He's learning on the job. So I just wish our fan base, to a certain extent, will give him the grace to grow.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, his mistakes really ain't cost us a game per se. Some things he could have did better, go for it here, go for it there. But no, he understands you can't fake your way through this as a head coach. So he has to own up when he makes mistakes. You can't hide from that. You can't be a bullshitter. We just had a coach who was a bullshitter. He ain't built. He's not built like that.
You ain't lying.
Okay, so understand that about him. That's what I need our fans to understand. They, let this man grow.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has to start somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
This is why what I'm saying. This is why he got the vets coaches in the front office with him. But
yeah. Hey, and you know what? Like, I like the fact that you brought that up, because there are people who are like, and I believe this to a certain extent. Like, hey, okay, this is the NFL. You definitely don't want a coach that's learning how to coach. I
don't think that's his issue. I don't think he's learning how to coach. It's this in game. That shit happens so fast in the course of a game. You can make a mistake. It happens. The best coaches do it.
Yeah. I think that what you're saying is, and I agree with this, is that the game has to slow down from a coach's perspective for him.
100%.
And And I think he is learning that. You know, there's certain things that you're still learning as coaches. You're not in your final form as a coach. There's Hall of Fame coaches that still, if they coach today, they're going to be learning something new in this game. There's these scenarios, infinite scenarios in the NFL. And if this is your first year as a head coach, you're only gaining more experience. It's not that you're learning how to be a coach,
right?
You know, because it's either you have it or you don't.
Right.
And this guy obviously has it, you know, but in the NFL, you're definitely learning new lessons each game. Each game, each practice, each scenario presents a new challenge and a new experience. So that's what I think that AP is going through. He's learning some things and hitting his head, but he's putting himself out there and it's like, you know, I'm going to own up to it in front of the nation, in front of everybody. Exactly. And I respect that. But shout out to Addy Alvarez. Big fan. He says he's a big fan of Elite's takes. We all are, right? And appreciate you and appreciate L Rocket 75 $2 haymaker. Acknowledge me, Big Mike Raider and Elite. L Rocket, you have been acknowledged. But another thing that I do want to talk about in this presser that Antonio Pierce was talking about was, you know, the decision he made for Aiden O'Connell to be the head coach. I mean, to be the quarterback. You know, one of the reporters asked, you know, was this a team decision? Was this, you know, the team make this decision? He straight up said, and he said it in the best AP way possible, straight to the punch, poker face, can't really tell what's on his mind. No, that was my decision. Now, there are some people out here, you know, that are saying that, you know, he needs to own up being a head coach and, you know, not having all these people, you know, in his ear. And you know, it's good that he has all these guys next to him making decisions, but is he the one making the decision? And it's not, you know, Coach A or Coach B next to him making the decision, and he's putting a group think, and then, you know, he's consulting his decisions with somebody else and this and that. No, he's saying that it is his decision, and that's what he made. I like the fact that he's owning up this decision and owning up that, hey, I'm the guy that's making the final decisions here.
That's right.
This is something that we haven't seen from him all season.
Right. I follow.
You know what? Maybe not directly. Like maybe he was doing it behind the scenes. He's making the decisions, but he didn't say it out in front of everybody. Like, no, this is my decision and my decision only. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure. Because in the past, he has said, he has consulted. He said, I consult with my guys, Marvin, Telesco, all that. He has said that. He hasn't come in and been like, I route, everything begins and ends with me. He hadn't said that until now, from what you're saying. So
yeah, and that's that. You know, it was. He said. I mean, he didn't say directly like that, but he was saying, like, he was like, when they asked him, like, hey, you know, whose decision was this? A team decision? He was like, no, this is my decision.
Good.
That, you know, so you know, without directly saying, he's saying like, hey, I'm the final say around here.
I needed that.
Yeah,
I needed that as a fan.
Right.
Because when we look at the Minshew, I'm like, going from camp, how was he a starter? He did not outplay Aiden. Right. So that led me to believe that it was a lot of Telesco influence on starting that guy. Because it ain't no way. He did not separate himself so significantly that you go, boom, he's a starter. $12 million a year is not grade A starting quarterback money. That's high level backup money.
That's a fact.
And I understood that they had to give him a little bit of money because people were vying for his services.
Yeah.
They had to outbid a couple of people just to land Gardner as a backup.
Right.
Right? Because who was the second best backup beside him? Flacco, who happened to replace him.
Yeah.
So you had to cough up a little change. But I'm like, that's not starter money. That ain't 20, 30 million. 12 million a year? Come on.
He can sit with that one. You know, that's
what I'm saying.
Yeah,
so to him to put his foot down and said, nah, Aiden, this is my decision. That's what I want to hear from my coach.
Absolutely. Shout out to Flamethrowers, Elite and Big Mike Fire. Hey, you already know, man. We doing our best around here. Shout out to Brave Raider, Big Mike and Elite. Good evening. Good evening to you, man. Thanks for the support. Let's see. Shout out to Ben Bad. He said he came back to water. I have no idea what you're talking about. Classic Man Q, Chip, TJ Watt all night. We and can see we can see some rub routes and crossing routes. We'll get into it. Steve DeLuna, if AO12 and the old rolls on Sunday, I say goodbye, Tay. We'll get into that too. Man, you guys are ahead of schedule. I love it though. I love it. Ben Bad, he listens, but if you can't see he's the boss, you don't know squat. Yeah, no doubt. And it's about time that he said it in public. We were just kind of assuming that was the thing, but now we know this guy, hey, he's the final decision maker here. He's not listening to a bunch of people. He's putting his foot down, and that's what I like to see. Shout out to another DJ. He says this Raiders team doesn't fold under pressure last year like they've done lately. Glad AP is recognizing it. Yeah, at some point you got to be the bad guy. They come out, they're flat. When things go wrong, and that's not a team showing resilience. And that's not a reflection of AP. If you know anything about AP and his upbringing, started the JUCO route, undrafted free agent. You know what I mean? Like yep. It took some resilience for him to get to that point. And then as a head coach, he started in the high school level, went the route through college, and now he's a head coach in the NFL. It takes some resilience to get to that point, and that needs to reflect on the team, and they haven't been showing that. So maybe it's time for him to kind of put his foot down and kind of instill some of that mentality to the team, because we haven't seen it yet. I mean, what do you think? What do you think?
When it comes to AP?
Yep.
I'm sorry, I got caught up reading in the chat.
Yeah, I do it too.
Say that question for me again. So
what do you think about AP actually finally putting his foot down,
right,
and trying to instill his resilient, right, his mindset of being resilient and showing his living, putting that to the team and living through his experience and instilling it on the team. How do you feel about that?
It needed to happen. I mean, that's how he got the job to begin with.
Right.
Period. Because people understood that was already the nature of his character. Right. So for him to put his foot down, it had to be done. Like, to me, this team didn't fold. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying, cause I don't think he's lost the locker room at all, and I'm gonna explain why by some of the words that Max Crosby had to say. But look, man, people don't like it. It's gonna be a faction who just don't like him. That's cool. That's your prerogative. That's your business. But as far as who he is as a man and as a player and how he had to come up, yeah, nothing was truly given to him. People think this job was given to him. It was given to him in the respects that people wanted to follow him. That's why he got the job. It's because the players want to follow him.
Absolutely. And he's been showing that since day one. So let's jump into the next thing, right? We're going to get into a little bit of our favorite guy, Davante Adams, right? Before we do that, shout out to Hug D's with the $10 haymaker. Big Mike and my sis Elite. Salute to you, savages. Love you both. Real talk. Let's go Raiders. The funny thing about it, success comes when you're tired of failure. This team will succeed. Trust me. I can attest to that personally.
Yep.
Yeah, I can attest to that personally. So you're absolutely right. But shout out to you, Hug D's, for the $10 haymaker. Let's jump into the next thing, right? One clip I'm going to show you guys, and it's regarding Davante Adams. Some interesting stuff. We're going to get a reaction. I'm gonna play it out, and then we're going to get a reaction. Let's let this thing ride. Let's see.
On the Davante Adams situation, and how quickly do you want to get a resolution to this so you can kind of move on?
Well, the update, Davante's doing well. Hamstring's getting there. He's getting closer and closer to get back on the field, on the practice field, and good spirits. Talked. So everything's good.
Do you see any scenario where he can return to the Raiders?
He's still a Raider. He's never not been a Raider.
Yeah, actually playing again for the Raiders.
He's still a Raider. When he's healthy and he can play, we'll play him. He's just not healthy right now. And he's getting closer, though. That's the good part. He's working every day to get that hamstrings right. He's in the right headspace mentally. Like I said, we talked recently and had a good conversation, and he's ready to play football.
Has he been rehabbing your facility, Antonio?
Yes.
Interesting stuff, right? Interesting stuff. I'm gonna get your reaction in a second, but shout out to EI-S with the $5 haymaker. Davante heard the AOC was starting and hopped out of bed like he was Grandpa Joe and Willie Wonka. Oh, surprise! Like, yeah. You might be on to something. So, what do you think about that whole clip? What is AP doing? Do you get into the mindset of AP in this situation?
100%.
What do you think?
He went to him. They spoke. He said, "Man, what's up?" That's what he said. What's really going on? What's up?
Yeah.
That's what he said. What's really going on, Tay? You want to be here or do you not want to be here?
Yep.
Players are fickle, y'all. Certain players are meant. Man, how do I explain this? These cats are so caught up in their persona, their money, their image, how they perceive. They can be fickle.
Yeah.
Wide receivers, we already know that's how they get down. So I think he came to him and said, "Look, what you gonna do? We come in with Aiden. Do you want to play? Do you want to be here?" It helps that jet shit look terrible. It looks like it's great. His homeboy hurt his oblique. Oh, yeah. I ain't gonna talk about weak mentalities, but anyway,
hey, there you go. You already know.
He saw it.
Yeah,
he saw it. So I think he really went to him and said, "What do you want to do? Do you want to ride this out? It's a bad look for you, my man. Regardless, I like it. I can see it in his face. You can see in his smile. You can see in his demeanor that there were good energy exchange between the two of them. And I think he said, "What's up? What you want to do?"
I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that. But I got to play devil's advocate because that's
okay. Go ahead.
For the sake of discussion.
That's right.
For the sake of discussion. There's 4 teams interested. You named pretty much all 4 of them last week. Bills are added to this mix. You know what I mean? And if we're showing that we're trying to get rid of him,
yeah,
and we keep saying, "Oh yeah, he's not available. He's not going to be available." This and that,
right?
And we're clearly showing that we're trying to get rid of him. Does that help our chances market-wise, to get what we want for him?
No.
It doesn't. No. And I'm more on your side. Don't get me wrong. I'm more on your side. I think it's going to be more of a, we're going to reconcile some stuff. But there's some conditions. There's got to be some conditions. I'll get into that. But I will say this. He's being the executive right now. If that's the case,
right?
If it's the other way around, he's playing the executive. He's got to sell it. He's got to sell that. Davante Adams is still kind of interested over here. You know what I mean? Even though he's on the trade market, hey, he's still a Raider. You know, so hey guys, if you want him, it's gonna cost you.
It'll cost you. It's 50-50. It's straight up 50-50.
Right. And I will say this. I'm gonna get into some of the chat first, and then I'll tell you what the conditions have to be. Shout out to Steve DeLuna. I'm worried our DC is too nice, soft. Give me Salah as DC. Imagine AP head coach with another badass as DC.
Ooh.
Oh man, you
called gave up on Patrick. Oh man, gave up on Patrick.
You know what? We'll see. Time will tell. Time will tell. It's a small sample size. We'll talk about this in a couple of weeks. Let's leave it at that, right? Shout out to Daniel Caps. What it is, Adams won AOC, not Minshew. That is another factor. Maybe he's finally getting what he wants. He fully endorsed Aiden O'Connell at the beginning of the season. This is a guy that he was pushing for him, and he didn't get the quarterback he wanted. So of course he's going to be a little disgruntled. And maybe he was like, "Yeah, we're rolling with Minshew. We're still rolling with Minshew." And like, hey, well, shoot, if you're going to roll with this dude, get me out of here.
Yeah, I mean, he did. He wanted Aiden.
Yeah.
When he did his presser after they played that Vikings preseason, and it was a couple of throws he made to Jacoby, and he commented on the type of throws those were, and he's talking about that's what I'm looking for. He was telling you right there, Aiden needs to be the quarterback.
Yeah.
Because again, regardless of how you feel about him, there are professional throws that quarterbacks who can win games make, and Aiden can do it. It's about consistency.
Yep. Yeah. I agree. And that could be the reason why there seems to be some sort of a U-turn. But there's some things need to happen. We'll talk about it in a second. But shout out to Jason Marshall. They've been trolling the media for the last 2 weeks. They've been trolling all of us, man. They've been putting us through some changes. You know, I'm like, season's over a couple of days ago. Aiden O'Connell's in. It injected some momentum. I've been going through the emotions. So they've been trolling everybody for the last 2 weeks, but it's been good content. I'll tell you that. It's been great content. But yeah, they've been putting us through the ringer emotionally for sure. Shout out to Joshua Anderson, AP trying to keep 17 stock up, Davante out of here, folks. It could be, you know, and like I said, I had to be a devil's advocate, but I'm kind of leaning like, hey, maybe he wants to stay. Just the demeanor, you look at AP's face, you know, and maybe he's already kind of over the situation because he did kind of get disrespected from Davante Adams, you know, about the whole, saying the coach kind of like the status on IG, but it turned out that it was Davante that initiated this whole deal. So maybe he feels disrespected, and maybe he's just like, maybe he's a bridges burn kind of guy. Like, hey, you're cut off, bro. You know, and at this point, I have no emotions for you. There could be that too.
It could be that too, and that would be wise, because you got to go like that, because you got a whole nother you got a roster that you got to tend to. Can I say something real quick? Can I answer this chat?
Yeah, go for it. Who is it?
Raider Paul.
Raider Paul.
Right.
Shout out to Raider Paul.
It's not about Aiden beating teams with no QBs. Aiden don't play against the other team's QB. That's none and void. He plays against defenses.
Facts.
He has a job to do. It don't matter who's throwing the ball for the other team. Who gives a shit? He has to go out there and complete passes, throw touchdowns, and not cost his team the game.
Yo,
I don't even be understanding that equivalent. They didn't have no quarterback. So what?
Yep.
Who gives a fuck?
Yeah. And you know, I'm on your side about it. Like, here's my thing about it. I've always thought if you have a quarterback that can mitigate some of the mistakes, right? You can have what the Vikings are having right now with Sam Darnold. He's an MVP candidate. Would you call him an elite quarterback in this league?
No.
I wouldn't.
No.
5-0 right now.
He's considered a bust.
He's considered a bust. And he's out there, firing. And you want to say, well, they got Justin Jefferson. Well, we had Davante Adams. Oh, well, they got TJ Hawkinson. Okay, well, we got Brock Bowers. Oh, well, they got, Jordan Addison. Hey, we got Jacoby Myers. Well, they got a good defense. We have a pretty good defense too. But what's been slowing us down is the inept offense. That's what's been slowing us down, even to the point where it's affecting the defense. You can't have 3 turnovers in a game and give the defenses short fields and expect success. You can't expect your defense to bail you out of that situation every time.
At all. So, and I'm gonna say this, Big Mike. Look, y'all. It's about 5 elite quarterbacks in this entire league.
Facts.
In this entire league. Please, let's not act like everybody got a bona fide baller at the helm of their team, because they don't.
They don't.
They do not.
You're absolutely
Look at the scoring in the league. Scoring has gone down for the last 4 straight years, people. Because the quarterback play ain't good.
It's true.
So what I'm saying is,
even everybody's golden boy, Patrick Mahomes, isn't looking great. Man. You look at his stats, he is not balling the way you guys think he's balling. He's not. He's not.
And so my point is, backups play. It don't matter.
Yep.
We don't have no greatest show on turf. Who out here averaging 30 a game as a team?
Nobody's averaging 30.
Nobody. Who averaging 25 a game?
Not many.
So my point is, our quarterback who plays for the Raiders has to play well enough to win and keep their team in the game and not lose it, regardless of who's lining up on the other side the other quarterback for the other team. That's my point. I think that's simple mathematics, man. Let's add it up.
Yo, I agree with you 100%. But shout out to Hug D's. Hit the like. Big Mike doing big things with and for the nation. You already know. And guys, the 154 in the building. Make sure you guys like the thumb, hit the sub, and share with your folks. And also hit the link at the top for the Raider Way. We're going to change the name, but that's Elite's new channel on YouTube. And you can follow her on X as well. So go ahead, man. Do that.
I'm active on that X.
Oh, yeah. She's active on X for sure. Yeah, you had X on fire. You pushed the show. And it was on fire. It was. I like
going back and forth. I'm going to interact with you, baby. That's how I do.
Yeah, and that's a whole different beast on X. You get people ready for the smoke over there. So if you can make it on X, you can make it anywhere. That's for sure. Shout out to the people on X watching the show too. Shout out to Jekyll and Hyde. A lot of people will say we don't have a quarterback.
No,
that's what we'll say. I think we will see. We'll see.
I mean,
we got to give him a chance.
Yeah, we don't have that man. I mean, unless he go out there and become something we would love to see.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He ain't played a full season. But do we got that guy who coming out in the first round, a top 5 pick? No, we don't. That's a fact.
But the point also is that we don't know what we have either.
That is true.
You know, we'll see. We'll see. Naming Aiden O'Connell the starter really injected a lot of life back into me because I was like, nothing's gonna work on this offense. This thing is horrible, you know. And then they named Aiden O'Connell. I saw, you know, the presser today. Antonio Pierce said a lot of the right things, and I was like, all right, maybe let's give it a chance.
Right.
I'm bringing the hope back just a little bit, but
just a little.
You know, just a little. We'll see. We're cautiously optimistic with this one. So
indeed.
Shout out to Raider Paul. How's the other team going to score with no quarterback?
I'm sorry. I'm trying to be so respectful, my man. I really am.
Hey, you know that's how it is. Everybody's got their
for sure.
You know, everybody's got their opinions on that one.
For sure.
People are really quarterback centric in this day and age.
Right.
I don't come from that age. You know, I've seen a lot of quarterbacks a lot lesser than Aiden O'Connell go to Super Bowls. So, you know, and you can say that's the old days and this and that, blah, blah, blah. Like, as much as football changed, football stayed the same. You got to have a sound defense. You got to have a quarterback that doesn't make mistakes. You got to have a running game.
Right.
All of that stuff we haven't had so far. And if we did have that, it would equate to the wins. We lost a lot of close games this year. You know, like if we would have just had 2 of those 3 things that I just mentioned, we'd be 4-1 right now.
No doubt about it. I mean, that's been the Raiders story for the last 10 seasons.
Right.
I think next to maybe the Steelers, we have the most 1-score losses as a franchise. So again, that comes with having a type of quarterback. That's a mentality. That's a clutch. A true clutch gene. I'm not talking about a 4th quarter comeback with that other stat because that can be misleading. I'm talking about in the course of a game, a quarterback that makes clutch plays in the course of the game, because it's times when quarterbacks can snatch your energy and grab hold of a game. We ain't had that. We ain't had it since Gannon. Let's keep it a buck.
You're right.
All right.
You speaking the gospel right now. I agree with you 100%. But shout out to Demokes with the $10 haymaker. Since I was crashing out earlier this week, we all were.
Sure.
But after watching the Jets crash out and making decisions on emotions, I kind of see things different. That post-nut clarity. All right, bro. We 2 and 3. We can still turn this around. Yeah, I'm glad you found some clarity. I don't like the method of which you found that, but it's all right, man. Shout out to you with the $10 haymaker, and I agree with most of the stuff you said, man. Shout out to you. Shout out to Hug D's with the $9.99 haymaker. We don't know what we have. We saw 9 games out of a rookie and an offseason. Y'all be trying to fry players before they can even get their feet wet. Calm the F down. Let AO cook. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. You know,
patience is required sometimes. Patience is required.
Yeah.
All right.
And you know, a lot of people they were after AP's head too. That's another thing. You know, you got to be patient with the situation. Like, he's a rookie head coach. I don't know any rookie head coaches that have made the Super Bowl first year. You know, even we're talking
one. I think maybe one, and it was Mike Tomlin.
Oh, well then there you go.
When he took over after Cowher, and he's been there for 15 years.
He inherited right, and he inherited a good team over there.
100%. A Super Bowl team.
Yeah. Let's look at the stuff that AP has kind of endured since he's been the head coach. He's lost his starting strong safety. He lost his one of his starting linebackers. He lost the backup linebacker in Masterson. He's lost Malcolm Kuntz on one side. Christian Wilkins just went down. He's out. You know, Max Crosby, your star player, isn't 100%. And that's just the defense.
Right.
We're just talking about the defense here. Couldn't locate the quarterback. Not to his, you know, there was some, maybe they should have done a little bit better with that. He's not 100% at full.
Not his job, 100%. Yeah. It's not, I mean, he's not player personnel guy. It's not
right.
his job.
That's the GM, you know, and the draft didn't, you know, they got Brock Bowers, but I'm sure that their idea was to bring in a quarterback and locate a quarterback. That didn't work out. So they're with Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew. And now he's working with what he's got. Like, we got to be a little bit patient, let this thing develop, and let him instill his mentality, his culture, and what his vision is with this team, and give it 2 years at least before we start calling for his head at least.
Let me tell you, I'm gonna say this little piece on this. Sometimes I question our fan base. Have you ever built anything in your life? Anything? Have you even built a family? Have you built a relationship?
Yeah.
Certain things is instantaneous cohesion is a rarity. Yep. It is an outlier.
Yep.
It is not the norm.
Yeah.
I'm you know what I'm saying? So when it comes
I got 3 kids at home, right? And I was not the Hall of Fame dad as I am today. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like it took some bumps and bruises. I made mistakes, you know what I mean? And, you know, I'm not comparing 100% parenthood to coaching.
No,
but the idea is that you build.
It's all relative, baby. Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
So, but you know what I mean, though, right? Yeah. It's like, you know, you're building something, you know, and day one, you're not going to be a master at building something.
No.
And then people need to have that idea and have that mentality that it's going to take some time, and we got to be a little bit patient. Now, also demand wins at the same time, because we blew a lot of games we should have won too, right?
For sure.
But don't be like, he's got to go. Like, I don't think that that's the right answer either. So, you know, that's where I stand with that one. But let me see some more of the chat. We'll get into the next thing. Shout out to Jason619. Tomlin didn't win a Super Bowl his first year. Only Todd Seifert.
George Seifert. No, George Seifert for San Francisco. Yeah, I got it mixed up. He took over for Walsh. Seifert.
Yeah, but then he took over for Walsh. So it's like.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying Tomlin was a first young coach. I think he may have won it within the first 3 seasons of his coaching career to go up there. Yeah. And I mean, it was just a stable. This man is picking up the pieces, y'all.
Yeah.
Stop acting like this shit was running like a great, you know, I ain't gonna say Amtrak because that's fucked up service too. But he's picking up the pieces.
Yeah.
They are you have to give them time to build. You cannot turn over every year, every 2 years, and think you are going to build anything of any substance. You are asking for a miracle for go to worst to first, just like that. It rarely happens. It's an outlier. It is not the norm.
Yep. And the only time this happened is that you're the predecessor to a Hall of Fame coach. You know, so let's put things in perspective. But shout out to Rockefeller Gibson. He says people got to understand we're not finished product. People got to be patient. Like you said, he's a first-year head coach. I don't have no real expectation coming in this year. Shit takes time. Exactly. Shout out to Hug D's. Doesn't matter. Winning is hard. All players are good. Who was the quarterback for that 63-point game? Hey, there you go. 4 touchdowns. You know what I mean? Like, hey, let's give the man a chance. Let him let him show that he can either be the guy or not be the guy, right? Let's And shot.
Because if he got the players' ears, you gotta let him build. You gotta let him build if he got the players.
Yeah.
Coaches who lose the players are the ones who got to go because they ain't hearing nothing you got to say. Nothing.
Right. Exactly.
I've been on a team I've been on a team that when we tune the coach out, it ain't nothing nice.
My senior year, we went 1-9. In the last game of the season, we were calling our own plays.
I did that. Hey, I've been through the same thing in professional basketball. I was playing in the NWBL. It's a feeder league for the WNBA. We had a coach named Tracy. He was horrible. We won one game that season. And that one game came when we finally understood that the coach was the problem. And we played for one another, and we actually won.
Yep.
As long as he got the team, let him grow.
Yep, I agree with you. Shout out to 3 Clicks and the Truth. Well, they could be 4-1, but just as much could be 1-4. But let's talk about other teams, right? Let's talk about the Chiefs who are 5-0. They could also be 1-4 if it wasn't for some extra help. You know what I mean? The NFL has that much. You know, you make a little mistake, that's it. Look how much one play made a difference in last game. You know, this is an NFL-wide thing. This isn't just the Raiders thing. You could say we could be 1-4, we could be 4-1, but it's that small of a margin that makes the difference. So, we could say, like I said, we could be 4-1, and you could also say we could be 1-4, but this goes for everybody right now, and what sets us over the top is mitigating and reducing those mistakes. And, we got to let the process happen for our coach to correct those mistakes. So down the line, we're not making those mistakes later. So, and I feel like he can do that. I really feel like he can do that. Shout out to East Coast Gridiron. What up? What up to you, man? ECG, man. Good to see you, man. Thanks for the support. Let me see. Been bad. Seifert got a winning team back then. You didn't have all the BS. Yeah. He inherited something special over there. There's not too many coaches that, precede a Hall of Fame guy. That doesn't happen.
No.
That's a rare thing, and by the time, look at what's happening over in New England. He replaced a Hall of Fame coach, but he overstayed his welcome. You know what I mean? Like, you don't get too many situations where you're replacing a Hall of Fame guy and the situation was good when you left.
Washington Howard got out at the right time, and that team was all, and they had talent. And Madden did it too.
Yeah,
Madden did that.
Yep.
Because Flores came behind him and won 2 Super Bowls.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
So it's a rarity, y'all.
It's rare. Shout out to Lube Gehrig. Lube Gehrig. One thing the whole nation can agree on, we're just tired of losing. And that's a lot of the frustration, guys. Right. Like, at the end of the day, that's really what it is. We want to win. And that's really what it comes down to. Everybody has a different way and a different method to make this thing successful, but some things are irrational too. Some of you guys be saying some way out stuff. But we gotta have like a rational mind and take the goggles off sometimes, just a little bit, to kind of look at things with the right perspective.
We starting over here. We starting for W's. Our ribs is touching. We know.
Yeah.
We understand it. Ribs is touching.
Yeah, the cupboards are bare over here, but it's okay. Right. We're gonna trust the process and see what happens. But you had a take about Max Crosby that you wanted to share. Sure. I'm giving you the spotlight, and then I'm gonna show another clip to kind of bounce off what you're saying. Take the stage. It's all yours.
Yeah, Max did a complex interview the other day, and to me, he is the heart and soul of the team. He is the mentality carrier of this team. And he said this. He said, me and AP have a great relationship. He's real. Everybody feels his energy. He doesn't play games. It's black and white. And that's how you create a great culture, and it's player driven. It's a big difference. And he believes in us, and we believe in him. And that's really what we're focused on. It's just finding ways to improve and win. It doesn't matter. This is the point, y'all. It doesn't matter what everybody else says. They can say whatever they want. At the end of the day, we will know who the real fakers are and who the real ones are. And we're just trying to put our team in a position to do something when it really matters. And to me, that means so much. That lets me know that they ain't quit and they understand that they in it for the long haul.
Yep.
Because he is the pulse of the team, period.
Yeah. I agree with you. And you know what, you said something that really stuck out to me in that quote was that, about the whole fakers thing. There only seems to be one faker that's,
a couple. I'm gonna let you know.
There might be a couple. Let me. We all know Davante Adams is one of the fakers that we're talking about, and I do want to show you the clip. It kind of adds on to that point, right?
Let's go.
Who's the other faker? Let's call him out right here. I want to hear what you got to say about it.
Divine Diablo.
Okay.
Divine Diablo. And when you listen to him speak and you look at his play, he understands he was the weak link on that linebacking core. And when they made all those big runs against San Diego, he knew the spotlight is on him. It's a payday. It's a pay year for him. He has to perform well. If you ever listen to him speak, he knows he'll say shit like, it's due to my injuries that, I haven't been my best. And so when I hear stuff like that, it lets me know that you are self-conscious. Or, you know what I'm saying? You know that you're not playing up to the caliber that you need to. And so I'm saying that oblique and that concussion, certain injuries are very ambiguous when it comes to sports. An oblique, how do you measure an oblique? You really can't. You really can't unless it's off the bone. If it's off the bone, then you can go, okay, you're hurt. When it comes to that and concussion levels to a certain extent, you can bullshit your way through it. And I'm saying, I think Divine is a bullshitter. Just like that former quarterback that we had. And I mean, when I say that, that's because you're not a finisher. When shit gets really, really tough, you find a way to seep your way out of it. And you can do that by milking an injury. And that's just how I see it. It's a couple of them. He one of them.
Yeah, you said a mouthful on that one. And it remains to be seen with him, if he comes back and he's still kind of like, like he's not doing his job and things like that, like not doing great in coverage, not stopping the run and being kind of half-assed, then you might be on to something. You might absolutely be on to something, but I do want to play this. And this has to do with Davante Adams. We are talking about, fakers, right? And it seems like that, Max Crosby is kind of calling him out about him being a faker. You know what I mean? So I'm going to play this. I'm going to let this ride out real quick. Let me pull it up real quick. There we go. Hold on. Let me share my screen. But yeah, I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. Let's see, 1 second, man. Shout out to the 100. Go for it.
While you get that going, I'm address on Wes Williams. Talking about that's really speculative because Masterson is trash. It's not about Masterson. It's not about his play. It's about Divine.
Yep.
It has nothing to do with Masterson's play. I'm talking about the mentality of Divine by the words he says and his demeanor and his injury history. That's what I'm talking about. So in the thick of it, can you play through things? That's what I mean by that. Yeah,
man. You cooking, man. And shout out to El Matic. He goes, woo, she cooking healthy soul food right now. Hey, there's only one way. There's only one way. But here it goes. I'm gonna let this play out and we're gonna get a reaction. Just keep in mind the faker thing that Max Crosby said. And keep him just keep that in mind.
Asking you questions about the quarterback. You've got Davante Adams. You're going to be asked about that all week. How you handling it? And what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I mean, you hear it, you see it. It's outside noise. Like that's just part of the game, though. But I feel like
it's really not outside; it's inside. Does it affect you? Who the quarterback affects you? If you lose an All-Pro receiver, or he doesn't want to be there, or whatever his problem is, that does affect you.
I mean, I guess it does. I mean, to the outside world, they make it they make it seem like it's the end of the world. But like, I mean, we had Antonio Brown and we had all type of crazy things going on. You know what I mean? The 2021 year, we had a million things. We lost our head coach. We lost, you know, over and over and over again. There was controversy and things like that, and we made the playoffs. So things like this, from the outside world, they think, oh my God, the world's falling apart. It's over with. At the end of the day, we're 2-3. You know what I mean? It's 5 weeks into the season.
Man.
That's our guy, Max Crosby. He had a lot to say. And to his point, right, with the, what you were talking about, he was mentioning the fakers.
Yeah.
And then he says one thing about outside noise. And I put this on X, I think that he said what he meant. Outside noise. This guy's on the outside looking in. But these guys are still trying to shoehorn the whole narrative that the Raiders are a shit show and things are crumbling around them and things like that. But Max Crosby is saying, no. We've been through this before. One guy is not going to derail this whole thing. Davante Adams, if he wants to be on board with what we have, great. But if not, the wheels keep turning. He's just a spoke on the wheel at this point. And I really wish he said it that way, because the mainstream media needs to know that this isn't crumbling like the way you think it's crumbling. Max Crosby's here to stay. And it seems to me that Davante Adams is trying to make a U-turn. I'm leaning more towards that than anything. And I did want to mention that there are conditions for him to get back. One, he needs to publicly apologize to the fans. He needs to request a press conference on a Friday, a Saturday, a Sunday. I don't care what day you do it. You need to go in front of the media and publicly apologize to this fan base for what you've done the last 2 weeks. If that's what you want to do and still be here, you got to do that. 1. 2, you got to have a man-to-man talk. Take AP out to a steak dinner. Hey, I made some mistakes here. My apologies. I should have handled this a lot better. I saw things in a different light. I saw a different vision for this team. I wanted AOC. You guys wanted something different, but I should have came at you that way instead of requesting a trade and going on a national, media tour and just putting all my dirty laundry out there, right?
Right.
And third, you got to go in front of your guys in that locker room and regain their trust.
Right.
And that means some apologies. You need to go out there and be the Davante Adams of old, and you need to put your head down. Don't speak to the media again unless you have to, and right the wrongs that you've done with this team. Those are the 3 conditions that Davante Adams has to fulfill if he still wants to be on this team. That's what I think. What do you think about that?
I mean, I would have to agree with that. Having a public apology, that's a lot. That's a huge ask. Because again, like I said, these cats is temperamental. That would be a hell of a thing. It really would. It'll show major humility on his part.
Yeah.
Because from things that are being put out, the timeline of what he said and what he did, those things don't add up. So he would have to clear that up.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So you didn't go on the K Adams show this week, so it's something there.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
So
and you're right. It would take some unprecedented sort of humility that we haven't seen from a star receiver ever in the history of the NFL in the modern day.
Right.
What other star receiver would go back and kind of retract their statements and walk humbly and be like, I made a mistake? This would be unprecedented if he ever did that. And for that reason, I think that the Raiders are going to ship him, to be honest with you. Like, I want him to stay, but more than I'm thinking about it, it's like, you've burned a lot of bridges, man.
Mm-hmm.
Bridges are burned. This fan base doesn't want you around no more.
Right.
As a whole, in general.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I want him around, but it's got to be conditions. And I know that he's not going to fulfill these conditions. It's unprecedented, right?
It would be.
You know, and you know, the teammates, you got Max Crosby calling, you know, he's calling out the fakers. He's saying the outside looking in. You know what I mean? Like,
come on, y'all. That's a hell of a statement for Mac to say we about to see who the real fakers are.
Yeah.
Cause y'all know any of y'all played on any kind of team. You know people who mentally check out. You fake. You are not about this. You cannot endure. You cannot endure. You here to collect a check, and you fake. We need to separate the wheat from the chaff.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. That comes along with building a team. You know what I'm saying? You have to find out who is who. And adversity always reveals character. Adversity does, not winning. Winning covers up a lot of bullshit. It's adversity reveals the man or the woman.
Yep.
Never forget that.
Yeah, for real.
We see your real you when you down. We get to see who you really are.
Yep.
On top, you can be and all that, but when chips is down, we get to see what you made of.
And you know what the cold part is that we've seen this twice. Soon as things weren't looking good in his favor, he wanted out of Green Bay. Soon as things weren't looking good in his favor, he wanted out of Vegas.
Right.
You know, and he wanted to go to greener pastures, and it turned out those greener pastures are way worse than what is over here in Vegas.
That was beautiful irony. I loved it. Yeah. I loved it.
That's the football gods telling you something right there. You know, you want to go to New York, guess what? They got a mess over there. You want to join a 40-year-old quarterback that is well past his prime and he doesn't look like he's a shell of himself at this point. You can go ahead and do that. Or you can go play with your buddy in New Orleans who he got shipped the hell out of here. You know, he pretty much got booted out of the door. We didn't get nothing for him, but they didn't even care because they wanted to get rid of him.
Right.
You know, so you can go over there and play with him and he's injured, you know, so you got choices. You got choices. And as far as playing for a contender, that's going to cost some folks. That's going to cost some folks. So if they really want that, go ahead and coin up. Go ahead and you know, give up what you got to give up. And
I'm accepting nothing less. Your butt will be in that mansion in Summerlin chilling till I get what I want. You can be full-time daddy for a minute.
That's a fact.
If I had it my way.
Oh no, that's a fact. But let me acknowledge some of this chat. We've been cooking, man. We've definitely cooking. Shout out to the 154 in the chat. Make sure you guys like the thumb, hit the sub, and share with your folks. Shout out to D_182. I just need Davante to ball out. I don't care about an apology. Helping the team win will be the best apology. Yeah, but you got to get right with your teammates. You know, you can't just go out there and just start playing. You got to do a lot, right? And shout out to Demokes. Hold on. Shout out to Demokes with the $5 haymaker. Captains goes down with the ship, and you'll know who the real ones when the fake ones start to dip.
Who wasn't the captain? Who wasn't the team captain?
Yeah.
That's but he's your player on offense.
Yeah. That tells you a lot. That speaks major volumes. Shout out to Pharaoh in the building. He says, can't trust him. What is done is done. It's negotiation time. Hey, that's how the rest of us feel. That's how a lot of us feel.
That's right.
Shout out to 3 Clicks. He says, I doubt Davante has it in him to do that stand up MO. Oh yeah, I doubt. Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. I don't think he's gonna do it. Wes Williams, I can see the last 2 requests, but the first one I don't know. Yeah, but he owes us an apology, man. He really does. And I guess really, does that really matter? I don't know. Now, if he comes out and balls out, I guess all is forgiven a little bit. But sure. I'll never forget how you did us, right? You know what I mean? I'm still like,
you can forgive, but I won't forget.
Right, exactly. So if you come out and ball out, then I guess it's all right for now. You know what I mean? So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Shout out to Rockefeller Gibson. He straight quit on the squad. We've seen Tim Brown go through all those crappy quarterbacks for the majority of his career until Gannon showed up. Never asked for a trade. That's loyalty. Some got it and others don't. That's a fact. That's a fact. So, you know, that's our standard. That's our standard. You know, if you can't live up to that, there's a problem. Shout out to Dan Tessier. Yeah, he can do that on the K Adams show. There's your platform. There's your platform.
Sure.
You don't have to wait for a press conference. You can go to K Adams show and address us, and make things right. I mean, I would love to see it. I would love to see it, and I think it needs to happen if he wants to stay here. Shout out to Lord Buddy Bear. What did I miss? Thought Adams already had 1 foot out the door. Yeah, but he's got 1 foot back in the door. It seems like maybe, allegedly. We don't know. We're on the fence about it. I'm on the fence.
Yeah.
We don't know.
You don't know. We speculating. I mean, that's the nature of content creators. You know how it go.
Yeah. We stay on the fence until there's no more fence. That's just what we do. Shout out to you, man. Lou Garrick. I'm not a fan of Carr, but he definitely got him the ball. Adams had the most receptions yards he's ever had with Carr. That is true. I mean, they had some synergy, that's for sure. They're buddies, right? They work out together. They've known each other for years. That's great. That time is expired over here. If he wants to go to the Saints, it ain't that green over there, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I need to second pick.
Right. And Carr's been injured for the last 2 years. So now we're talking about durability issues for Carr. You know what I mean? So if he wants to go over there and then eventually, you got Jake Haener throwing you the ball, that seems like a downgrade from Aiden O'Connell. I'm just saying. I don't know.
Right, Spencer Rattler starting. Go ahead. I mean,
go ahead. Yeah, you got choices. Shout out to Hub D's. Ben Bad. That's a huge take. You better block on run fits, Tay, or we sending you to Cleveland. Yeah, he also needs to run block too. That's another one. Because his effort with run blocking.
That's why we got to see who the real fakers are. That's a problem.
That's a fact. That's an absolute fact. Paul Edgerton, one thing's for sure, Elite should be an official member of Shieldmore ASAP. We working on it.
For sure.
We working on it. We got to talk to the other guys for sure, man. But hey, we got Elite here in the building, and that's all that matters for now, man. Shout out to Jay. Hey, just play like you care about your teammates. Yeah. That's one of the requirements, but I want an apology. I need my pound of flesh. Right. You did us dirty, man. You did the nation dirty. Shout out to Luke Garrick. Imagine demanding a trade from a 2 and 3 team and say your top 2 choices are 2 and 3 teams. Is wild. Yeah, that's nasty work. That is nasty work. Shout out to User. I think DA wants to go to the Commanders. Commanders are out. That's what the reports are saying. Commanders are out there. They're not going to do it. But that would be nasty if he did go over there. I'll say that. Wes Williams, Saints and Green Bay are 12 games away from hiring a whole new staff. Yeah, Dennis Allen is on the spiciest seat of all coaches in the NFL. He is on a hot seat. If he can't work things out with what they got over there, it's a big problem. And then now you're going to be talking about Derek Carr has his 15th, whatever number head coach in his career, and now you start from scratch. Do you want to start from scratch with a Derek Carr who's 34 years old, 33, and it always takes him 1 or 2 years to get acclimated to a system? You're going to have to do that all over again.
Just look. He either want to play or he don't. If not, you sitting in Summerlin. I'm not letting you go.
Yeah.
Not during the season. If that's the case,
yep.
I'm going to wait until draft so I can get real capital for you.
Yep.
So we can make our moves in the draft upcoming. You'll be sitting at Summerlin, chilling. Go play golf. Go to Red Rock and go play golf.
Yeah, go play golf. Go do some more Taco Bell commercials. Right. Do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. Change some diapers. Get one of them those little satchel kind of deals where you put the baby in the little thing. Like go grocery shopping with the baby. Like, hey, you got a whole list of things you can do. I'm sure your wife will definitely approve of all that. So yeah, go ahead, man. You staying right here till we get what we want. I agree with you. But hey, we got to talk about the game.
Let's do it.
This is the same thing we went through last week. So much going on around the Raiders. We almost forgetting about the game. Yes. Right. It's crazy. Right. So we got the Steelers this week. I'm going to jump into some of the stuff, look at the head-to-head matchup. The Raiders right now, 2-3 points scored, 20th in the league, 96 points. They're allowing way too many points, but that's due to the offense and their turnovers and not putting their end of the bargain. I don't blame the defense for this. They're 28th in the league, giving up 131 points per game. And overall, 30th ranked according to PFF. Offense is ranked 23rd. Defense is tied for 31st. Nasty work. And special teams dead last at 32nd, according to PFF. They got the Steelers. The Steelers are a 3.5-point favorite. I'm going to tell you what, guys. I want to get real quickly into some of the betting stuff. I know a lot of people aren't into the betting, but if you're going to bet any game this weekend, bet the Raiders. And I'm only saying that from a strategical, almost a conspiracy standpoint, because if you look at the numbers, right, the number of cash that is put into the money line on the Steelers is at 92% to outright win in the money line. That sounds like Vegas is going to clean up and get their money if the Raiders win. 92% of the money is on the Steelers right now as far as the money line. The spread, 76% is on the Steelers. People are picking the Steelers to win this one. They don't give us a chance.
No.
So bet the Raiders money line, guys. I'm telling you, if you guys are into that, bet the Raiders money line. We'll jump off of that one. But we're looking at the summary right now. Steelers overall PFF rank is 11th. Defense is 7th. To me, I think this is the best defense we're playing all season. So far, this is the best defense. I know we played some pretty solid defense with the Broncos. I know we played a solid defense with the Browns, but they have nowhere near the talent that the Steelers have on defense. Those teams don't have the same.
Their line is fierce.
Yeah.
The line is fierce.
You look at every single level. TJ Watt. Then you got the linebacker. You got Patrick Queen and the other linebacker right next to him, who I think he's one of the top rated linebackers according to PFF. Then you look at the secondary. You got Minkah Fitzpatrick. Like they got, and then you got big Cameron Hayward at D tackle. They got stars everywhere. So we're gonna have our hands full. What do you think what's the keys? What's the keys to winning this game? What do we got to do to take care of the Steelers with this tough defense? Offense not so great. We might see Russell Wilson. He's been cleared to practice. I don't know if they're going to give him the keys to the car right away. He might want to get some practices in, but we don't know. We might see him as a starter. But overall, what is your keys to victory here?
It comes, like I said earlier in the show, it comes down to Getsy's blocking scheme, pass blocking scheme. All right. Yep. You have to chip. You're gonna have to chip TJ Watt, and you're gonna have to help with the what's his name? What's that guy name over there on that other side of the defense? Highsmith. Them dudes are ferocious. Yep. So the key to me, one of the key players in this game is going to be Harrison Bryant. Harrison Bryant is going to have to help all game long on the left side and the right side, because I'm sorry, I love Colton Miller. I'm big on Colton Miller. He's struggling. Yeah. I think he's in a case like a wide receiver who takes a year to come back off of ACL. It's going to take him a year to come back off of his shoulder injury because he is not himself. They're kind of running through him. He's giving up the most sacks in the NFL for the tackles, for left tackles. So you're going to you can't leave him out. You can't leave him on the island. And you got Glaze on the other side, who's a rookie. And I know he wants to get those people out and pass and, passing routes, but you have to use Harrison Bryant to help with the blocking, and you're going to have to use your running back to chip. So to me, if he does not adjust that blocking scheme, it's going to be a long day for Aiden. So to me, that is the key. I don't need to hear nothing else from what I'm saying. When I'm putting out, I need you to change up that pass blocking scheme. Mm-hmm. Period. Did you see how Denver did Max? They had 3 people on Max. 3.
Yep.
3. Don't leave them on the island. You can't do it.
Yeah. They can't afford to do it. And I agree with you. They got to have max protection in this game. I think that is the key. You said it perfectly, particularly with 13 personnel. We saw a lot of 13 personnel the previous game. We saw, we saw Bowers out there. He did his thing. He's the number 1 rated PFF graded tight end in the league right now, 82.7. This dude is probably going to make a Pro Bowl as his rookie year. So I'm excited for him. But on the other side, we got Harrison Bryant. He's doing his thing. He's balling out. He's doing his role. He's blocking very well.
That's what I'm saying. He got to make a decision because I know he wants to get them out in the pat and out and running their routes, but he gonna have to sacrifice this game. He got to help. He got to help block.
Yeah, and throwing in that third tight end, 13 personnel, you could put that third tight end in the backfield. You can put them on the line, and now you're trying to establish the run with max protection. And on the pass, in passing situations, isolate Tucker one-on-one, particularly with I'm gonna pull his name up. I got the lineup, particularly on Dante Jackson. If we get a one-on-one with Trey Tucker and Dante Jackson, that could be advantageous to us because this guy's a 54.6 overall defensive grade and a coverage grade of 54.5. Let's break Trey Tucker free. Let's isolate him and let's get him free. And max protection. Have that third tight end. Whether Shanker or whoever's the third tight end. Chip TJ Watt. You know what I mean? Or stay in the backfield if you're playing at the fullback position or that second running back position. Stay there, max protection, and make sure that Cameron Hayward isn't going to wreck shop either.
Right.
So a lot of protection has to be on that front line for us to work offensively. And I think Aiden O'Connell play within the system. 3-step drop, boom, get it out your hand. Get it out your hand. Be a statue in the pocket like you are. Manipulate the pocket, step up when you need to, deliver a shot. With that, you can eventually go long, especially when you establish the run, when you have a bunch of people on the line blocking. Have Shanker out there as a tight end / fullback. Use a lead blocker to get that run game started. Okay. That's what I think can work offensively for the Raiders against this tough Steelers defense. One of the best defenses we're probably going to play this season. So that's my keys to the victory as far as our offense goes. And then defense. Hey, this offense isn't the greatest, but we need to find ways besides Max Crosby to make plays. We need somebody else to step up. We lost Christian Wilkins. That's a shame. But I think Snowden, that one hurts, right? But Adam Butler has been playing pretty well. He's been doing his thing. We're going to need Nesta Jade Silvera. I'm assuming he's going to be one of the guys on the inside. He's going to step up.
Yeah, he has to step up. No, we need Nesta Jade. Yeah, you got to make noise.
And then on the other side, Snowden has been doing his thing. Janarius Robinson, mix it up. Throw a bunch of different things at him. Let's get creative with our play calling. Exotic blitzes. Whatever we got to do to throw at whoever's the quarterback, whether it's Russell Wilson, he's going to be rusty if this is his first game back, or Justin Fields, who hasn't been looking great either.
No, they coming off of 2 straight losses.
Yeah.
Okay. So they trying to find their way back. We can get at them. We can get after them on the offensive end. They don't have no dynamic players. Pickens is Pickens. He can make some great plays, but they don't have anybody who you can just say, man, they can just break this game open. If you contain him, because they're going to have some design runs for him. If you keep him in the pocket, you have to keep him in the pocket. We can make things happen. Keep your rush lanes got to be disciplined.
Yep.
You can't you can't just run up and leave those rushing lanes open for what's his name? Fields. Yeah. And it's gonna be a hell of a game. We got a lot of emotion. Fields going against Getsy. He want revenge.
Yep.
Our boy, my guy Spillane, going against his old team who gave up on him. They need both of this. It's going to be a hard hitting physical game. It's really that linebacker play is always big for me. Eichenberg he was not ready last week.
He wasn't ready.
He was not ready.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Amari Gaynor don't get more run.
Yeah.
Damn, as much as I shit on Diablo, we need him.
At this point, we need that second guy to step up. Whether it's Gaynor, maybe Amari Burney. We didn't see much burn from him. They pretty much went primarily with Eichenberg, and he didn't look that great. It's his first game, and he gets a little pass for that one. But let me acknowledge some of the chat. We've been cooking this whole time, man, and I'll get carried away and act like they're not even here, man. Shout out to the 164 in the building. J.A. Trey Tucker's about to start cooking with AOC starting. Yeah, I think so. I think that they have a synergy. They have some sort of rhythm, and I'm looking forward to seeing Trey Tucker. We will be 3-3 after we beat them on Sunday. We're not going to lose 2 in a row. I'm leaning towards that. But we'll see. We'll see. If DA wants to stay, he's going to have to do a pay cut next year. That's also something that we got to look at.
That's a real thing.
Yeah.
Wherever he goes, he'll have to rework his contract.
Yeah, we're gonna. That's business. We're talking business at this point. Yeah, you're gonna have to take a little pay cut. Shout out to Hug D's. Pittsburgh will take our last 5 games and try to exploit it. They'll look at to get Najee and Fields cooking with their feet, and they'll continue to come at Jack Jones and our linebackers for quick passing. I've been a little disappointed with Jack Jones. How do you feel about Jack right now?
Yeah, a little bit, playing a little passive.
Yeah,
playing a little bit passive out there. I don't see the aggression. He's playing real soft coverage, and I don't know if that's by design or is that just him kind of being unsure. Yeah. But he needs. To me, I think you have to do what the player does best, and I think he plays press man coverage best.
Yeah,
but yeah, I don't like a team that plays a lot of zone. I know that's our boys thing. I'm not big on a ton of zone. I think you got to mix it up. I think you got to cause some level of confusion.
Yeah,
give a look, pre-snap, drop into something. Get him where he can jump a route, and you can only jump a route to me for the most part is when you playing man, even if it's a little bit of off man, but it has to be man coverage.
Yeah, I agree with you, and that's when Jack is the best. So yeah, we got to put him in a situation where he can succeed. I agree with you. Shout out to Huey P. Andre James about to get tossed around, and that's the reason why we need 3-step drops, because I don't trust him on Cameron Hayward. I'll tell you that. I'm not gonna lie to you. Now JPJ, this is gonna be his biggest test. This is gonna be his biggest test yet. So JPJ is there to help out his buddy next to him in Andre James, and maybe he can answer the call. Parham's been playing decent, so there is hope that they can kind of stop that interior rush from happening. But we'll see. We'll see. Shout out to Raider Clan. Cam Hayward is going to no Vaseline Andre James. Oh man, it better not be a one-on-one situation. That's all I got to say about that one.
Gotta help.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to Wes Williams. Quick hits for offense and exotic blitz from the defense. No doubt. That's exactly what we said, man. That's exactly what we said. Shout out to Hug D's. The Pittsburgh defense will look to really get after AO. They'll play a soft zone inside with a blitzing safety and play the outsides man to man. That is true. And I think they're going to play too high because, they're going to dare us to run the ball. We haven't been able to successfully run the ball. So they're going to play too high safety, but they might be pressed on them in man coverage, and they're going to be sending some linebackers and telling, hey, Aiden O'Connell, you got to beat us. You got to beat us with your arms. So that I can see that. I can see that. Let me see. Shout out to End Times. Hey, Raiders fans, I'm checking in on Max Crosby. Is he tradable? Need him. He's not going nowhere, man. Come on, man. He ain't going nowhere. Shout out to User. Hey, thanks for the support, though. I appreciate you coming in, man. Shout out to User. Complete third down conversions. Yeah, that's also a thing. But that's the thing. We completed third down conversions way better than the Broncos did, and we still lost this game. So it takes a little bit more than that, too. So, but continue converting on third downs and not turn over the ball 3 times. That's also a requirement right there. That's a huge thing. Shout out to TN. Says no turnover need to force turnovers. Exactly. And that's another thing. We're -7 in turnover differential. That is a direct indicator of whether you're a good team or not. We're -7, which is dead last in the NFL. We need to turn that around. That's it's not a good look. It's not a good look.
Injuries is killing this defense, man. We got to, they've been hit hard by the injury bug.
Yeah.
You just have.
Yeah, it's been tough. Shout out to Raider Clan. Glazers held up better against Stars than Colton all season. Yeah, that is true. I mean, Colton Miller is giving up, I think, 5 sacks this season. It's nasty. It's nasty. I mean, I think maybe even 6 at this point. He hasn't looked great at all.
And he's giving up a lot of pressure. He is. Yeah. He's not himself. You can see it out there. He's playing through it.
Yeah, and hopefully he comes around towards the end. But we'll see. We'll see. Shout out to user Raider needs to average 3 to 4 yards per play to open the big play. Running game must be key to open up or move up the chains. That's 3 to 4 yards per play in the run. You know,
Right.
you need about 5.5 to 6 yards per play overall for me to be okay. This offense is doing something. So, but with the run, 3 to 4 yards will move the chains. You will say that. Shout out to End Time said need them on the Bengals. You can keep dreaming, bro. It ain't happening. That ain't happening, bro. Let's see. Shout out to D182. Graham has to do a better job to find schemes with the underneath pass. Yeah, you know what? There was the play that we gave up, the field goal before the half. I felt like the defense was too soft in that situation. Like, there's no way that you give up half the field with like 20-something seconds left in the half. You know what I mean? And then the penalty at the end really messed us up. But there was a lot of situations where I felt like the coverage was too soft.
I agree.
You know, it's not a good look. They really need to figure this out. Shout out to Hug D's. Raider need to get away from run, pass. Oh, my God, yeah. We're literally handcuffing our offenses with motion and predictability. Let's get a little play action, slant, or middle shots. Let's get more running backs involved. Yeah, I agree. And they were doing that at the beginning of the game. You know, we saw Madison out of the backfield with some catches. You know, they seem to be a lot more creative with the offense at the beginning of the game.
They were. Yeah.
You
I
know?
thought it was some good designs. You had some good play designs early in the game.
And then just for some reason, it just kind of went off the rails at some, you know, I don't know what happened, man. But you know, it's got to change. It's got to change. Shout out to X, fire content. Thanks for the support. Shout out to 159 in the building. Make sure you guys like the thumb, hit the sub, and share with your folks. I'm gonna get down to the bottom of the chat, and then we're about to call this thing soon. We've been cooking. It's been about over an hour and a half. I'm sure that shocks you, right? I just looked up. I was like, man, it's been a little bit over an hour and a half. It's crazy. Yeah. But yeah, that's how it goes when you're having fun. Absolutely. Shout out to user. Last KC game of those last drives from Carr was a glimpse of our memory of choking at critical times. Yeah. I didn't even bother watching that game because I knew we were going to. Yeah, you know what you're going to get from Carr at this point. You have the injury report today. I got you, man. Let me pull it up. Injury report. So, injury report, Russell Wilson, full participant today. First time all season. He's had a calf all season. He's full participant. We might see him. Najee Harris didn't practice. DeMonte Casey, a safety, did not practice. Jaylen Warren, the backup with a knee, he was limited. Minkah Fitzpatrick resting up, he was limited. Nick Herbig, young linebacker, he did not practice. Alec Highsmith with the groin did not practice. So keep that in mind, guys. Isaac Siumalo, he rested. Cordero Patterson's out. TJ Watt was resting. He didn't practice. Cam Hayward, he's resting as well. DeMarvin Leal did not practice. And Larry Ogunjobi, he didn't practice. And then as far as the Raiders goes, Davante Adams did not practice with a hamstring. You guys know Max Crosby was out today with an ankle. Divine Diablo, full participant today with that oblique. So we'll be seeing Diablo. Yeah, he'll be out there. Tommy Eichenberg, hamstring, he was limited. Michael Mayer with personal reasons. And you know what? Now that Michael Mayer thing came up, I gotta put this out there. And we were talking about him getting packaged up with a first round pick and getting him shipped out. We maybe thought that was the reason why he was, he wasn't playing. But it turns out that he's going through some things. I don't know exactly what it is, but I'm gonna put it out here. I'm out here to say I apologize for that. As content creators, a lot of times we're going out there and putting our opinions out there without really knowing 100% the scenario and the situation. A lot of us do it and we miss the mark sometimes. And I really do have to apologize to Michael Mayer, and I wish him the best. I hope he finds peace, and we hope to see him back, man. Whatever he's going through, hopefully he comes back sooner than later. And prayers up to Michael Mayer. If it's a mental health thing, that's no joke. It's a lot of people that are battling with that, and we're not going to make light of that. So Michael Mayer, he's out with personal reasons. Tyreek McAllister, shoulder injury, he's limited. Jacoby Myers, he didn't practice with the ankle. Hopefully, you know, as the days go by, we see Jacoby Myers out there. Colton Miller didn't practice with a knee and shoulder. That's been all season. Trayvon Merrick, full participant. He had a knee. Thayer Munford, limited practice today. We might be getting Munford back. Dylan Parham, he has that Achilles, so he was limited, but he powered through it last week. JPJ did not practice, guys, with the knee. So we got to keep an eye on that one too. Got to keep an eye on it. The Cameron Richardson, he hasn't been around all season. He was limited with a hamstring. DJ Turner limited with a hamstring. Zamir White still out with the groin, and Trey Taylor limited with the knee. So that's the injury report. We'll keep an eye on that as the days progress leading up to the game. But that's the injury report, guys. Let's see. Let me see. Shout out to Huey P. Prayers up to Michael Mayer. Mental health is no joke. Yeah, no doubt. Paul Edgerton, best wishes to the young guy. Prayer hands up, man. We're praying for Michael Mayer, whatever he's going through. Hopefully he overcomes some battles. Hopefully, you know, he gets back in the game and we see him back, you know, doing his thing. We hope for Big Mike to come back. We need Big Mike to come back. Ben Bag, Getsy needs to be upstairs. That made a big difference for Graham. So, hey, maybe. So, I think that's it. I think we cooked. We did a nice slow roast, but we also, you know, we did some straight searing too. We got some things on fire.
Yeah, we hit it.
Yeah, I think we did that. Elite.
Yes.
It was a good show once again. Always.
Absolutely.
As always. You cooked as always. I'm looking forward to Wednesdays. We're going to be doing this on a weekly basis, guys. Elite.
Yes.
Shameless plug. Let them know where we can find you. Let them know what you got cooking. Go ahead. The floor is yours.
Absolutely. I'm active on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. It is Thaisa Hunter, aka Elite with the Heat. Please go sign up to my new channel that I just got going. It has a couple of videos, but I'm about to start getting into to live streaming. And my first live stream will be this Saturday night at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'll be on. It is The Raider Way. THEE Raider Way. It's probably going to be changed up though. But every Tuesday and Saturday, I'll be going live on my channel, and I'll be here every Wednesday night with Big Mike. I'm not on Instagram. I'm not on Facebook. I'm only on Twitter. That's like Twitter's where I'm active, and I'm here on YouTube with you all. You, the Great Raider Nation, baby.
That's right. And shout out to everybody who came in and participated in the poll. It seems to be a 61%. Leaning towards everyone deserves a second chance with Davante Adams. Give him a chance. Every 61% is saying that. So, hey, Raider Nation is we Davante, if you're listening, probably not, but if you come across this, man, we want you back. Me personally, we want you back under certain conditions. But
Raider Nation, he's great. Yeah. Who doesn't want a great player? But you gotta want to be here. But you gotta want to. Don't nobody want to hold you hostage. You gotta want to be here.
You got to want to be here, and that's how I feel about it. And here we go. Go ahead and click on the link right there, The Raider Way, right there. Support Elite's new YouTube channel. Go ahead and support. Like she said, she's got some things cooking up right here. So, guys, go ahead and support that. And with that, guys, we got 138 in the building. Make sure before you guys get out of here, you guys know the deal. Like the thumb, hit the sub, and share with your folks. That is the Big Elite Podcast. We'll see you guys next Wednesday. And, hey, we'll see you soon. Raiders win on Sunday. I'm calling it. Raiders win. I won't give a score this time, but Raiders get the dub, man, and we'll be happy on Sunday. But with that, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
We're going with the guys that put in the time and commitment to do what we want to do over the next 6 months. And that's just do one thing and one thing only, win. And I want winners. Winners never stop working. Kick in the front door and let's get this bad boy rolling.
I got the contract. This is one of them hits now. Heard back from Earth, we just shot a few of my ships down. It's safe to say I'm totally pissed. Wow, my cloaking devices just malfunction. Guess it's time for a sit down. This is the problem I got with humans, mostly the common man. Constantly fucking with energy they don't understand. Always thinking they got the upper hand. The G-forces for my maneuvers can snap your spine like a rubber band. I shouldn't waste my time, they ain't half as nice. Put a Red Bull in your coffin so your ghost can have wings in the afterlife. Let's rock and roll like a belly dancer's rhinestone. It was my idea to shake the pineal gland like a pine cone. My thoughts create hurricanes, tornadoes, and cyclones. A punch for me is like an avalanche of granite and limestone. You live here, now this is my home. I neuralize both your retinas, you wake up staring at the screen of your iPhone. Confused by the light plus the high tone. And now we connected from the microchip I placed next to your thigh bone. It's hard to understand cause you're mind blown, but I gotta cut communication. Your government just scrambled they spy drones.
That voice speaking Sumerian.